Yo, Yamamo, Aqua Bastion Coso, Eba a POG Media. So, yes, your for and Waba a channel is why Uber subscribe na while like a Jumediano at the Amayobitmin so Ashi Jumediano na afofro and so and sa Akabian. Please click on the notification bell so set the any news be out to platforms on so on so near airco and near air bana yebedawasi na yakasi nyamin so nyade in shall pass at the piano Usha Jumedi Emma Jumedi AFA na ekoso wano na ene yekoye nsemmunu yen sebre maye Sam Nate George awaye MP edema eye ningo pram empesu aso no na ode nsem bebre aba betudwa efa eye Bawumia ho ene Ghana eye yamanyosema ekoso a nioma pi wono ma etosini anase etochema ewo eye aban we mu na wono nso ede na no aye ato sansem we mu na nsem be na eye Sam George tuja we ya abroko pi mu ewo obi ne dwumadi a wato din se ekusi senso a na ode ensem bebre de tuja na chese enya agudie kura na o chese Bawumia no chese ensem bebre ono ma na se ne ma bebre ono ma owrai ana se mampani abedi chiri Bawumia oya enye de nkoyi na wakansem bebre bo na chi na sansem we a Sam George eka anasa na odi tuja na amagana fo bi mpo eka se Sam George for president because omusha Sam George no na adwene mu ebie yi pa na adwene de na adwene do ewo Ghana amanyosem mu enye Ghana mpo amanyosem ankasa no papa yi otiase ya yehwe na single fighter or fighting against the LGBTQ chese enya agra chese ne no vindicate ya aba parliament mpo edemra for mpo ayde aba ho no ene papa yi sa nneoma we nyina aka ho nti na de Bawumia wama no ho ayde achi ni ye pa wode nsem bebre ato no so anasa wode nsem bebre ayde waka nsem bebre afa Bawumia ho ene obi Ghana fo ene se 2024 abato ya ba bekomi yama ye nya de enda ho if se Bawumia no nada nkutu anasa nada nkutin na Bawumia ade ye de ede bre so yenko na enkonkuti nsem a Sam George ade tuja medamase.
Fantastic. Inti
Tamako, mate kakrai.
Yeba ho. Ho na maybe na. Mate the Ivory Coast coach na say so almost near so a mate na obey driver no the omo win tournament no. You've heard that analogy.
There be na ono onye mate, ono ho na ono wan hu no mate o na ohun hu say assistant driver. Utina STC your mate, your driver na your assistant driver. Utina STC free Accra Ekotamalia.
Yes.
When you said driver, meaning no work.
And drivers too.
And a mate also womb.
You're from conductors.
Yes, conductor no. Southern Nigeria for free mate. By your day for mate. Good. Mate womb. And I want drivers mean. But come driving free. I could do techima. No, but come for techima.
Yes.
And see your assistant driver. And I want mate. Because me tie. Omampinya be de chire Bawumia. Oba asada no. Or say. Oba interview. Yamane ejuma dada enti obey accountability on ejuma ye dey share nsa on the basis of that no ye man no ejuma fufuro enye sa
yes
me as an interview panel no ma marking 0
for everything you heard.
Obi yem fa no say ora kwesi chum e fa wo ejuma say we a host be a host of the show.
Yes.
Now, what about now has 7 years? 7 years. Now, who be year no? Say position be for be a management position. Now I go catch and say, or I go see chum. 7 years no for me ejuma as producer or production assistant. Who say kwesi chum be hwe we. Esan say offer we say be ye host of the show. One for say be ye production assistant. Yamfa Bawumia say ombe mate o. Ye fa say ombe assistant driver. With constitution ni mo the requirements for the president are not different for the vice president are not different from the requirement for the president. Until na Ikuadonko was disqualified 2 elections ago. Esan say ni running mate no AD 39 or in 40.
Yes.
But who share mates need driver requirements ni different. Assistant drivers me no na omo STC no. Omo ina omo driving license. Omo ina ye hwehwe omo nim. Omu na ya making sure say omu ntwa bi. Ansa na mo kotina stage. Mate. Why na checking mate driving license? Mate, why na checking any? Mate no do na omu twa bi da ansa na omu start ejuma no. And he say ya foul assistant driver. Now 7 years actually. Assistant driver na ya foul no. We say I know the one year ho ejuma but mate ejuma na I feel na mate nyama bebre a Dr. Bawumia here. Na what twetwa bi.
That's
Debbie, you know when I say that I'm not saying say literally. I'm saying to you say we a driver. Who could trick car? Won't mean trebi.
Yes.
Mate there obim bisao say what trebi and I went trebi.
No, but the point is that despite that analogy now we're painting, and I sometimes wonder why we have certain debates in this country. Is it not clear, say, the powers of the president are different from the powers of the vice president? Is it not clear? Why are we debating this? Why you don't know that?
Dr. Bawumia, abra otro 170 questions ma emisata no na onem.
And what's the point?
The point is ono ani marking scheme na yede mano. Afei de o say bibia atu nchema e wa ban ne mo no. Eno de enye ono because on de oye mate.
But he didn't say that in the speech. You are deducing that from the speech, and it's not fair on him because he started by defending the record of the government or a part of
Obi, everything that in his own opinion went well.
Yes.
Or say no everything that didn't go well. Or say no there. Your man akwenya or baba ye ni there. Obi, we need Dominic. And a produce show and a show way.
Sure.
Good. Imagine say Sam George abat na nyame mpengu and mambe di nkwasi assembly wo show way na NMC for afre na se NMC for afre mo na kwesi chum internal meeting ofre mo na waka kire kwesi chum say me de Dominic na frɛ Sam George o enti Sam George ba no me de Dominic afre na enti me ne hu ye but we Dominic free ho a next time me Sam George ba me pamo no abra Sam George bet na ha no na bisa me asem na otutu ma no so when Bawumia is sitting there today and saying to us say despite the remaining 10 months of this year odaso ye mate
or vice president
odaso ye vice president I just say yes akoto abama no ansa na ye betumi ayi e-levy bet tax any emissions tax obi ansa na nanado ni Bawumia ebedi o man we nim no wonim e-levy bi
no
wonim bet tax bi
no
wonim emission levy bi
no
why na di buy
this government
nanado ni Bawumia na Bawumia na ye the head of economic management team
yes
ono na ohwe tax policy so and all the core cabinet e defend the cabinet e-levy no me ntina cabinet me nim say won so I just say ye from cabinet but me nim say
ntina cabinet
ntina cabinet but when him say party general secretary dey otina cabinet any chairman and a minister for information so tina cabinet
observers
yes but one tina enti bibia e koso no one mote okay e-levy buy no kodwo pon kruma oye aban kasamafo minister for information o te cabinet ho e make say another na NDC for mu ye dey say Bawumia on kasa ade no e-levy no Bawumia na hihye e-levy no e dey buy
kodwo say wan kasa
enye no kre kodwo ya menua enye no kre upa okasa wo city TV interview with Bernard Avle tape no ho ye betumi abo but metumi akan exactly what he said ama if you want or see information minister Kodwo Nkrumah has disclosed that the vice president Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia played a key role in arriving at the fine details of the e-levy. According to him, the vice president actively participated in meetings to ensure that the poor in society were not adversely affected by the implementation of the e-levy. He said it was the instrumentality of the vice president that the 100 Ghana cedi threshold for mobile money transactions was included in the bill to ensure that the poor were protected. And see,
but that is in line with the position on this whole e-levy thing. Because he had said in an earlier interview with Sefa, say, Onuno Ofili say, the poor would be affected, if there is a way the poor can be exempted. And when he got the opposition, he pushed for that earlier position. So he's been consistent.
No, Obi.
I didn't know.
Obi, the whole e-levy.
Yes.
The drafting of the e-levy.
Yes.
See, it's not only about the exemptions. They gave the exemptions as one of the things he did.
Yes.
As one of the things. But the whole e-levy, say e-levy, would we have needed an exemption for the poor?
No.
Oh, no, got time I didn't buy.
No, but granted, say he even did that.
Yes.
Now, or say on your opportunity to obey here free. What's wrong?
Obi.
He hasn't got the executive authority to do that today.
No. Obi.
He can only try to convince his boss. The boss can say, "Oh yeah, what can he do?"
Obi. When is about our website?
Our website, sure.
Bawumia 2020.
Sure.
Who course I pay website in this one? Who click on the link Meet Bawumia. The biography, Beba. Biography in it. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. He chairs the economic management team, which is broadly responsible for shaping the government's policy and guiding their implementation. He's at the forefront of a broad inclusive development strategy in Ghana, involving, among others, the leveraging of digitized government services to transform the delivery of public sector services and digitizing the economy. Obia, onankasa autono. Or say, no chair economic management team. Now, Omejumani said they shape government policy,
yes,
and guide the implementation. And he said, catch us all your mate. I don't know there. Only to me or the baby. He said, or no becan. That's not what he's saying. When you say you shape something and guide its implementation, you are integral to both the formulation and implementation and execution of it. And see, again, I'm just showing you how Bawumia is conflicting himself.
But per our constitution, decision making in government is done by cabinet.
I am daring the cabinet Bawumia team to show us any evidence, say, or the document from economic management team, ECO cabinet, said they are opposed to e-levy. And if the economic management team he chairs was opposed to e-levy, then who introduced it? Because the e-levy was introduced as a tax measure by the economic management team. He chairs the team. So if he was opposed to it, who introduced it? And if Bawumia is, for want of a better phrase, and with the greatest respect, so useless in the cabinet scheme of things at cabinet, not him as a person, that's what I'm saying very respectfully. If you are saying, say, cabinet, there is no use for him in cabinet, that as head of economic management team, on a policy issue like a tax handle like e-levy, you can't say e-levy best solve your problems. They couldn't listen to him. Then it means the MPP doesn't see Bawumia as even a serious person.
But in principle, you and your colleagues from the minority were vehemently against e-levy. If we've gotten to a point already, former President Mahama Akaso Nyakwaya obey free ho. Dr. Bawumia Nso Akaso Nyakwaya obey free ho. At least we have the two leading candidates in one accord on a policy. Why should we be having this debate?
We are
having
this debate because Ghana for say politicians they are truthful. You can't de back you not to me no na you are the fifro. Open your phone lines right now and ask Ghanaians. Yes. That is the impression Ghanaians have of politicians. And it's important that we begin to hold politicians to a high standard of ethics. Say, so obisi obey idea. You see, kwasi obeba wontuma. Tieneding. If Bawumia, as head of the economic management team, introduced e-levy, and I did a Facebook post asking my colleague MPs, one more TISA program na say wo UPSC. Bawumia can say obes crappy e-levy na omu Bawumia say stress. Bawumia insulted them.
How?
Bawumia simply said to them that their sense of judgment is faulty. Bawumia simply said to them that they are not serious people who should be taken seriously. Mustafa Yusuf, Minister for Sports, you born in punch amaneni pie over e-levy. Ya kuntokwa ewo parliament over e-levy. Intokwa ne mun obi bo Mustafa enim ema neni pie. Because they were fighting, because they believed, because Bawumia had told them, they the MPs, say, government needed e-levy to fix all our problems. Papa Penyin to say Amwakwata, can say, levy bar, all our roads will be done, our problems will be finished. Papa Penny say, what was Sumano Sebi Kafra, Nkwasiasuma? Sent them to parliament to come and fight. It is all of those late nights. Parliament over e-levy that led to the death of Baswa. We stayed in parliament till 1 a.m. Baswa BP Kosro Okodru Fieno one sorry bium Kumewu MP. And life was lost because of e-levy. Then, in 2 years, less than 2 years, you the same person who sent them to go and fight, who sorry say, Ubetrim, where is your credibility? Where is your integrity? And you see, when you put what Bawumia's political journey has been in context of Sir Adeweya, you know you can't take Bawumia seriously. John Mahama from day one said, I will scrap this. And I remember February 2022, demonstration was Brassport. I said, then General Secretary, I can say within 100 days, you best scrap e-levy. At that time, what was Bawumia? Why did he not speak? If the same Bawumia who said to Ghanaians, say, within 18 months, woman the Tumia, within 18 months, there will be no village in Ghana that will have a water or toilet problem.
So for you, the whole point is if you don't trust the words of Dr. Bawumia.
Oh, but Bawumia's words cannot not be taken seriously.
Okay.
Wait. Wait. Bawumia, ebet now sister station ha.
Yes.
Building way more.
Yes.
Building way more.
Yes.
And I can say 100 days in office. 100 days in office. Bawumia be kan wa ha say wache dollar no. And now the keys no. I'm an IGP. At that time, that dollar is 4.2 and that dollar is 12.7. So if Sanipano, Emsambe catcher also best crappy taxes, so money to me for Bioma, would you believe him? Bawumia and the Kojina Cape Coast. Abra any MPP manifesto mupo. Your man the microphone said Bekasana introduce the president, you know, or Bejina can say Messi Airport, I'm Cape Coast. Cape Coast for air train airport. Bawumia na bet na Joy FM ha. And I can say, oh no. Obeye president, he will move the vice president, he will move the country from taxation to production. Emma okasasa say NDC yentie bibia yebekana na assume there and all of that. Joy FM and Okai moving us from taxation to production as head of economic management team or the 40 new taxes.
And some no a very interesting year patch say there some George Eddie to Jano are no adding Mwakasa pay na some George me personally me papa yasem because and just be our NDC ni and also joining am your Kobe but I share the personal character papa no nim kasa wonum de na enya won Ghana for Bebre air call for say papa yi embeye eye mampani debi ana say papa yi debi o me pre eye mampani akonya no na some of the to jana no ordene and Bawumia we dey obi kan monfo de na omuntie bi because in some no allegations near more but by yen so no yentimi enche outright because Bawumia so by no my bi enti wuti a ye be pese wo nso beti na ode wadwenkyere ayede aba medamase
abetu yeso Bawumia na ne kan say obe make sure say Ghana ha ye be start say ye concrete na be ye kwan esan say tamamoto we Akroma the concrete ye no ache sin asphalt de ni na onua bisa wo say concrete road ben e na Bawumia ye Bawumia ne kan say Zongo community bia benya senior high school bisawu 7 years why hu den but
if you should go on this tangent
na can say
yes
SHS ni bia 2023 SHS ni bia benya laptop one fa laptops na ma SHS for what some bejina won say see there university for and obebo mbosu na on laptop
if you should go on this tangent about politicians promises or my omontimi am for failure, then all of you are guilty.
Some are more guilty than the others. I won't sit here and say John Mahama, the beer John Mahama Akano. Why?
So that is not something you can.
But we are saddled with both of them.
Yes.
and I will look at the two of them and see which of them is more believable. I will look at the two of them and say, this one, for example, John Mahama, the minister, and then a down for a dim komo.
Yes.
I can try and down for no say, me 1 million. Me die politics here. John Mahama say wo krasa adwempo na me hia wo ma abamu me pamo.
John Mahama couldn't have done that time I know a vice president. John Mahama did that when he was president with executive authority. Bawumia cannot do that because or a vice president. If he becomes president, maybe he can do that.
Obi. T. Bawumia.
Yes.
Your friend Orabi James Cake or say. James.
Yes.
Cake or say.
Yes.
Onye Jumama Omampinyo.
Yes.
Oye Jumama Bawumia. Because argument now we and say Jumama a president.
Yes.
Bawumia a vice.
Yes.
James Cake or say. Onye Jumama office of the president. Oye Jumama office of the vice president. Oye Jumama Bawumia. James Cake or say. Oye Christoni. Onye Kremoni. A Christopher Obi who call Church of Pentecost. Who did Ramadan?
Dabi.
Means we call Perez yendi Ramadan. A Christopher yendi Ramadan.
Okay.
Yenu anu kremofo na di Ramadan. James Keko say a oye adwuma a oye Christoni a oye adwuma ma Dr. Bawumia. Edu Ramadan no. Otro letter ewo Dr. Bawumia ono ankasa ni office letterhead. E di ko GRA say papa bi a Ghana ni bi a wato ono ni waka ni emo abagana a obeton. Vice President say up or here sa emono for Ramadan. Ama womo ko G over 10,000 bags, 14 containers. Womo yi the first 10 containers, 10,000 bags. And womo ko yi emono wo Bawumia fie. Ama womo ti chair for Ramadan. Aba pie mu say eye emo
10,000 bags no Bawumia fie.
Oh, the office ni one of the properties ho na womo ye womo ti chair rights no to the various groups. Womo ti chair emono for Ramadan no. Ho na womo ye disbursements no. OSP Eddie Papa na court say because you say we are ade no. Papa na da so ye adwuma wo Bawumia office.
Yeah, na go say Papa no is under investigations by the OSP.
Bawumia office atro say wo ma gia tum say ne waye no. Wan ye ne ye but omampanyin that abede no enim ho hwe. I'm showing you the choices Ghanaians have to make.
No, but we
are looking at two people and
Yes.
seeing their commitment to fighting corruption. Bakun Nejumani say or adwempo say dachi onya 1 million na obejai politics. Yes, is adwempo no be ma wako we had here. Obe we are bansika. Enti Jomama say enu de se wo krasa adwempo we de me ntwen ma wo we akra kọ. Bako de Nejumani directly working with him. Ako we are 10,000 bags of rice. Ewo ni din mu. Achiche no ewo ni din mu. Odaso ni ye adwuma.
Because there is a presumption in favor of the man.
How is that presumption? The person has admitted, say, Wakoji Emono did not belong to him.
No, but you say he is under investigation.
No, he's been prosecuted. The case is in court.
But it's possible he can
The
be let off
OSP, the OSP. Wait.
possible.
Obi.
Yes.
Did Victoria Hama commit any offense?
Yes, that is why he was not handed over to the police.
No.
But this person is being prosecuted.
No, because John Mahama doesn't want to be related and connected to corruption. He doesn't want to even have anybody who can think of corruption near him. Bas Brandon, Jifa Ativo, or see, and then Fumabemu. Abu Gapele sat in parliament with John Mahama. Oh, you're down for one more did bomb. Assembly bar about Jida. Yeah, then Abu Gapele called jail. He jailed his own brother over corruption. Bako de onene daso didi wo Flagstaff House. How can you equate these two people? One abhors even the thought of corruption. Bako de ye wia ewo ni din ye lele rice so ye wia. Jacob wia emo obia emo.
But before you
Obi,
are
this is not Obi. Look, if there was no prima facie case established, there will be no prosecution. You know that.
But the point is that
so
prima facie alone is not a guilty.
Obi, it shows
verdict.
you that Bawumia is a tolerator, a promoter, and an enabler of theft.
When the case is in court,
If he abhorred the activity of the young man, Obeka say me mfwaso the mere fact. So what could you
know what I find interesting about this line of
It is even wrong that you would take the vice president's letterhead and write a letter If the vice president claims they didn't know it, then it means even the vice president's office is dysfunctional.
But you know what I find interesting? What I find
there is no justification for this.
Bawumia,
and I'll give you more evidence of corruption.
The Bank of Ghana has come under intense criticism on withdrawing the license of somebody like Seydou Agongo and in the bank.
Yes.
Because the argument has been said, assembling power court, why do you base on that to withdraw Obi license? So why can you hold a position like that and hold a different position?
Because they are two completely different.
How are they different?
Why Seydou Agongo?
No. The principle say assembly court untimi base assembly court soon take a decision.
No.
The same thing here.
No. The Bank of Ghana was taking on because those licenses were withdrawn because of liquidity ratio issues. The banks who all had their licenses withdrawn was because they did not meet the liquidity access ratio.
But the narrative around Seydou Agongo you remember.
Obi, wait.
You remember.
The reason why we have taken on the Bank of Ghana on Seydou Agongo is because Seydou Agongo's bank met the liquidity ratio requirements of the Bank of Ghana. But the Bank of Ghana added him who say who ye nkrofa sebita frache omusikasemu enye we nisikasemu ye but we say our court enti who ye no. So even the mere fact that you are adding him shows that prima facie there is a bias against him. Now I am saying to you, I am not using an institution. I am using two people, two human beings.
Okay.
Two human beings who want to be the president of Ghana.
Okay.
And we've seen one president currently sitting there who has been, we've been told by his own appointee that he's the mother serpent of corruption. President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. Now, we have to make a choice between John Mahama and Bawumia. And we're looking at someone who can help us deal with Katashishe Jim. And I'm showing you one who has a record of prosecuting people who are even close to him when there is an accusation against them, or distancing himself from others. And I'm showing you one who is, and all the people John Mahama sacked or got prosecuted, none of them carried out an activity purposely for John Mahama's benefit. John Kekosei, Emona Wakobiano, or Chiche or Bawumia Dimu. And Bawumia is still keeping him at post. PDS are Adani Albatross are, according to IEA, you're losing $2 billion because of PDS deal. No? Why did PDS become a fiasco? Because of Bawumia.
How was it Bawumia?
Bawumia single-handedly took the PDS contract and changed the bank guarantee to insurance guarantee. Adia a bank guarantee obianim bank guarantee the insurance guarantee the now they said PDS must bring a bank guarantee and from bra and sana the adwuma no be show monsan but me say wonem monjai men figure na for bank guarantee ben insurance guarantee bra na enu krapo men fam ba wo de hye adwuma na ase wunya. So the PDS people took over the assets of ECG, started collecting ECG's money, and used that money to now go and raise an insurance guarantee. Besine, Yesika 1.5 billion Ghana cedis. And that's what PDS for her. Bawumia was responsible for that.
Okay.
No,
based on this,
Bawumia, last one.
Yes.
Bawumia is the only person in this government to have been mentioned in 2 undercover exposés. Anas there now, with Kesi Nyantechi can or say Vice President de Obama on your pebia, but I say your appearance fee commando. You have $3 million in commando. Charles do wine. Need the answer by no. On also one more president din, one more finance, one more bearding, or some Bawumia din, or so Bawumia de. Yet the Sika commander, obey Amau. And everybody in the government knows that Bawumia collects appearance fees. This is a man who is engaged in a higher form of family and friends. Ni father-in-law, ambassador, ni brother, deputy CEO, why onankasa ni sister, head of Northern Development Authority, ni sister, and ayakoto tricycles, 400 tricycles, ama yiraye. Besine, ye hu be 400 tricycles, 400 tricycles. Etu tisa confirm. Ye hu be
So
his brother is at Ministry of Interior. I mean, what is this?
My final question, and it's you obviously are not a fan of Dr. Bawumia. You wish he doesn't become president. Why is it, sir, any other Ghanaian or best taking the neck out, say, media me, I support Bawumia? The NDC seem to come after that person. And I use the Kofi Bentil example. I didn't hear. Is it a strategy now to cower people into submission and to gag them from expressing independent views?
Show me one person who has supported John Mahama that has been celebrated by the MPP. Then we can have this conversation.
Okay, why now one person that was supported
John
Mahama.
Me Sam George, I see me supported John Mahama. Show me any MPP person now or bomb me about to say who supported John Mahama.
Yeah, but at least they don't attack you. They don't come and insult you.
Share messages, you know. That's
not what I'm talking about. You know that's what for more as politicians, you know. It's something you do. I'm saying, say.
Now, because of John Mahama, I'm politician.
I'm saying, say.
Simply because I support NDC and I support John Mahama.
And I made a Kofi
Bentil
example.
Is not independent.
Oh, how is he not?
He's not
independent. But he supports Bawumia.
Listen. Kofi Bentil has supported every MPP presidential candidate from Kufuor to Nanado and now to Bawumia. That is not independence. Show me one NDC candidate Kofi Bentil has supported. Kofi Bentil endorsed and supported the Kufuor administration. Kofi Bentil endorsed and supported Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. In fact, he did do so and made it a campaign. He was so much on the neck of President Mahama. He campaigned openly for President Akufo-Addo. And the same people are going to bring Jack Toronto Abebreye. I mean, look, don't use the word independent and Kofi Bentil in the same sentence, except you are using it as an oxymoron.
How is that an oxymoron?
Because it can't be. They can't be in the same sentence. Because that sentence will not conjugate. Il conjugate. You can't conjugate Kofi Bentil and independent. Look,
and do you honestly believe, sir, the attacks directed on him, is fair?
Attacks on who? But Obi, Kofi Bentil's attacks on John Mahama, were they fair? Many of his attacks were misguided and not based on any fact. Kofi Bentil is on record to have said that he didn't like John Mahama because John Mahama created Doomso. Did John Mahama create Doomso? Did John Mahama create Doomso? In 1987, when we had Doomso, was it John Mahama? In 1997, when we had Doomso, was it John Mahama? In 2006, 2007, when President Kufuor marched the Christian Council pastors to go and pray for rain at Akosombo Dam, was it John Mahama? Yet Kofi Bentil, in 2015, said John Mahama is the cause of Doomso and still repeats that lie today. Kofi Bentil said that John Mahama took a Ford as a bribe. He has repeated that on several platforms. He said that under John Mahama's watch, a confirmed flu, when all of those things are not true. Manasseh Azuri, when he sat in your studio and stated emphatically that he never has evidence of any confirmed flying anywhere and that he used it as a joke. Kofi Bentil has trumpeted it. How do you tell me such a person is independent? It's like telling me that Ben Epstein is a credible poster.
No, me, so as trade bullets in here, but the fact say Ufis on your independent, say ne right to a choice.
He has a right to a choice, but I also have a right to scrutinize your choice and establish your independence and your credibility. Which must say, I have a right. The way he has a right to a choice, I also have a right to scrutinize his choices and interrogate them and say that, look, this choice he's making is not based on facts. It's based on other considerations, and you should come and tell us what those considerations are.
Will Greater Accra fall for NDC?
Certainly.
Greater Accra
will fall once again for the NDC by the grace of the Almighty God. We will not sleep. We are going to do work. We are going to work hard. It will fall again for the NDC.
And I say, seats ni bi amoji free MPP. Ono muso mo say abeje o made o.
Say obi abeka na adwin.
Lejokuku your friend back with Okaikwe North and all of those seats.
Na but you know English man for amoji free.
No mo betimi age. Sly seat no.
When you say me dem was like no edro. Most like no edro. Sly who me deal with ballot paper or need him ballot over Johnny this year. Obi am permanent free ngo papa ma but you know me won na no edro. Amasa man enya your seat.
Yes.
I know what I'm talking about. We have our seats. We will take Greater Accra. We will work. We will move. We will campaign in this region like never before. We will deliver 24 seats minimum to President Mahama.
In Greater Accra?
Yes, we're moving from 20 to 24.
Hey, some Jojo can't say more.
Write it.
You are recording.
Yes. We will deliver 24 seats for Greater Accra. We deliver 24 seats for Greater Accra. For the NDC in Greater Accra. And I mean, over the weekend we had our caucus workshop, and I kept bragging there and saying that hey, I'm secretary of the biggest caucus in Parliament. Secretary of the Greater Accra caucus. We have 20 seats. That's the biggest caucus in Parliament. You understand me? Right now we're taking the Volta region, and I'm proud to say it. And we'll continue to hold it. We'll increase our lead, and we'll make sure, by the grace of Almighty God, that we deliver both presidential and parliamentary. In Greater Accra, we are aiming to get at least 53% of presidential votes for President Mahama.
2020, Munya percentage saying
51. And you know, it's weird because 2020 is the only time a candidate won Greater Accra and didn't win the presidential elections.
Yeah, it's true.
And we'll fix that anomaly.
In 2024.
Definitely we'll fix it again.
Some George Medasi, I bet you didn't come up here. Ecosi Saints in the higher Sempa 94.7 FM. Yeah, so anyways, my main comment is the meaning come away, Emra. But the mono they ever call. Yeah, your friend is saying Val's Day,
the mono. Yeah, be
Ghana football.
At the Ghana football because Obi. Look, and I've been saying this, Obi, if you remember. You call Cameroon. I said that Ghana will not even win Indomie. It became a big thing. What would you matter more Ghana?
Also, can say more.
Look, Obi, look, Black Stars, no, disband the Black Stars. That is my view. I've held this view for long. It won't be the first time. Look, it was after we disbanded the Black Stars. Well, it's 2001, 2002. Now call Mali now. Now you pam Black Stars Jesse Ewa Abracano.
Yeah.
Obia Bobo now Obia person be swap Jesse na Black Stars for say because Jesse na ba kumpe. Asami Kufo mu ko kan ye pamu wo no. When we disband, that's the Jaula time. That's what brought Nyantechi into the scene. When we disbanded it and missed one AFCON.
The 2004 one.
Yes.
Yeah.
2006 were we not?
We went
at the World Cup.
We went to AFCON and then went to World Cup.
Because you had time to break down the structure and rebuild it. Look, Nigeria has done it. Several countries have done it to clean their house. How can you tell me that our taxes are being used 8.5 million to go and get 2 points? Obi, there is something systematically wrong with the Black Stars. Look, why should anybody get the opportunity of 33 million people, Yamao, one of 11 jerseys, to wear for the Black Stars? And you say your amount $10,000 or $30,000 wumbo. Obi, asamwa jana ene asamwa aye ama waye nshirama microphone and your Black Stars ente. Stephen Appiah and your Black Stars ente. Before Stephen Appiah got signed to go to Juventus, was it not because of the Black Stars in 2006? Michael Essien, who got his big move to Chelsea, was it not because of Black Stars? John Mensah and your Black Stars the year woman. Any Ghanaian player who's really reached the apogee of his game has been because of the Black Stars. When Kevin Prince Boateng, every time they carry a new drop here, or Black Stars. The Black Stars is and should be a place where you must feel the pride that you are wearing that jersey. It must not be a business place. And look, if we don't break it down, you are building on a foundation of straw. We need to fix Ghanaian football. FIFA can decide to ban us for 2 years. Let's take that time to build it properly. Look, you are talking of Morocco. Are you sure you even can qualify for Morocco at this rate?
With what we've seen?
At this rate.
Yeah, Sam.
Yes, sorry, Anna. Say, I see could be menu. You who obia or you're gonna need half and a quarter. When people don't have a connection to the country, they have no sense of ownership in this country. They have no feeling for this country. They don't understand what it is, Obi. That happens to you and I when the Black Stars are not performing. They don't understand the joy that we felt under President Kufuor in 2006 and the joy we felt under Professor Mills in 2010. I was in South Africa where they were calling us Bagana because we're the pride of the African continent. The players were willing to die. Obi, you know Australia game, no? Michelle Sox bear 5, Midnight Freezy. Those boys were playing their hearts out. because they felt something for Ghana. Stephen Appiah will kill himself on the pitch. Which of these boys is killing themselves on the pitch? Which of them? Apart from Jiku and Wakasu, Kudus, how many other people do you see? Look, just check the statistics. 50-50 balls, we lost all. Team, no. How do you call this a national team? Uncle 40 ho, now your bonus is Kesi because Obia Obeko Bia, woo, your Chauka as manager, now still who appearance fee, coefficient in
Sam. Let us say, Ekosi saying the higher senpai FM. Yentie we Emra Yaba Henry Nana.
Yo, so Madam must be Jumedian Pompon so ni dear Diako so ya ni pitri. Nese yedin some no ide abanawi na men some no way wow tea you know. You have the only judgment. O ye Ghana ni. Adian some na a year Ura a year some Georgia the two jano. A dear some no nya no cray and I say no cray. Ghana politics what they say. There is a whole lot of allegations on this, but Ninyano, we are here to bring you the best. Yenyasi 2024 mono. We the POG Media team no. Yet the a year stories and a politics news are just a enkensu and as a politics news are what's one of no when you the one say that and I the bro your doorstep are just a enyago. We are here to serve you with a political news. So please, Mr. Subscribe, like you may no share now for and so and please click on the notification bell. So send be your DNA news be to platform no so and so they want when you be Mr. Wa you may DNA na next time no what's the next story now once why they won't do the air coso a Ghana. Madam Asi Akroma.